Okay, what we have here is a 3-year-old filly by Sandman out of a daughter of Highbrow Cougar. That her mom, that mare, she won about 4,000 in the cutting, and then she was a penner, and I think the owner told me she won probably 6 figures in penning. So that mare was pretty athletic and apparently pretty cowy, but small. Charlie here, she's only right now, even as a 3-year-old, she's only 13.1, 13.2 in the wither, and about 13.3 in the hind end here. So she's little, and she's probably going to be going towards the cutting pen rather than the cow horse pen, depending on how she trains up. But I've only had her for just over 2 months, just in the beginning of November. So you could say she's a late started horse for the futurities, obviously, but she's not a late started horse for her. For her, her show career and her riding career is just starting, so she doesn't know she's late. But we're gonna do the best we can with her and hopefully show everybody the training process of this mare all the way through the year. Try to do 1 or 2 videos of her. The owner would like that, 1 or 2 videos a week of her and her training progress, and really showing what's going to go on into the training process, not just showing the best of what she can do. Charlie's personality, she's very, very hot. She's very fresh. When you come out here, she's ducking and dodging and diving, and I think in her mind she thinks if she can dodge a wrench, she can dodge a ball. So that's just Charlie, and she's hard to ride, hard to warm up, even after 2.5 months. The first month was pretty easy on her in a halter. In November, we just loped her around, and she was still ducky and dodgy and divey, but she was pretty quiet to start. Now that she's we're going into more performance, she kind of has her own opinion of, I want to do it this way and we want to do it this way. And so when you're just loping around in the beginning, it's no problem. But now when we add buffalo or flag into the mix, she's got her own opinion, and she's really, she's quite the personality to ride. I really like her because she's really sensitive. She can be very soft and supple, very feely. And these feely horses usually train up a little bit easier. You don't have to really kick and pull on these horses to get them to do anything. You just kind of show them what to do. So I really get along with horses like that, like stingy mares or hot mares. But I'm just going to show you the progress on her week by week and see where we can get her by the end of the year. If we can get her showing it all, maybe as a cutter or maybe as a cow horse. I think she might be just a little bit too revved up and hot for the cow horse. I don't think her size will prevent her from being a cow horse, because I've had some cow horses that were barely 14 hands that were really good down the fence and everywhere else. So her size doesn't really bother me too much about that, but she does like to trot around a lot. She doesn't like to lope, so she really long trots everywhere, which kind of screams out cutter. Usually for the cow horses, we want something that lopes really, really well. And she lopes good, she just doesn't like to lope. She would rather trot everywhere she goes in life. So, and just her size naturally, I would say, is cutter. Not that she couldn't make one, like I said, as a cow horse, but her size and just the way she's built and the way she moves and stops is more cuttery than it is cow horse. So we'll see what we can do. When I warm her up, I basically come out here and just try to trot some circles, maybe some ovals, some straight lines with her, which can be a little bit tricky on her. Again, as she gets, maybe it's just fitter or more confidence, but she can be real ducky and dodgy, and I've almost come off her a bunch of times because she'll just stop and change directions and sweep right out from underneath you. So it can be pretty fun to warm her up. But then when I put her on a buffalo or the flag, she can be pretty, not intense, but it gives her something to do. Like these horses, like these cow horses and cutting horses or cutting bred horses, they typically don't like to just be like a reiner where they're out by themselves and just listening to you. Like she's busy right here, she wants to leave. They want a job to do. So the more I put her to a buffalo or a flag, the better she gets, I think, in the mind. So I'm just gonna show you how I warm her up ready for the flag, and then we're gonna work the flag here. This will be probably her, so if she's had 2.5 months of training, she's probably been on the flag about 8 or 9 times, I would say max, not 10 times. And then on the buffalo 4 or 5 times. So On the days that I'm working a bison on her, I won't work the flag, and the days that I don't bring the bison in, I will work the flag. So she's really only been started on the actual flag or bison work in the last month here. So what I like to do is make sure that they come off my hands first. Even though it's only been 2.5 months, I never push them into the bridle at this stage. I always want to just pull her off the bridle. So if I make contact on either side, I want her to just get off that bridle soft and come back. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull one rein, and I never want my horses to stand still when I pull that rein. I kind of want them to do that cutting turn. So I got a little bit of neck rein and outside leg on her right here, but I want that cutting turn to be so in them right from day one. So when I bend my horses to get on them as colts, I'll bend them, but I'll teach them how to stand, keep their feet still when I bend them. But then as soon as they're not going to try to buck me off, when I bend that nose, I just want that cutting turn. I don't want any hesitation there whatsoever, because when you're trying to put one on a cow or a bison and you got to go left or right pretty quick to teach them that position, you can't have any hesitation between that left and right feel. So if I'm going to go left, she just needs to do that cutting turn. And as you can see, she's turning on, or we try to get her to turn on her outside hock, and that inside front foot comes back underneath her. And same on this side. And she's pretty light and feely here. That's really good. And then draw back. I would love to see all my horses draw back with a very level top line. I think they stop better. I think they're in a more athletic position when that top line is flat. So I don't mind that her nose wants to go low as long as she's backing up fluid with her feet and that nose is soft right there to my hands. So I've already trotted around, warmed her up before this video, and so now I'm just going to send this flag out here. We're going to work the flag and just show you what, say the 10th session on the flag on, even if she was a 2-year-old, I probably wouldn't be riding her on the flag as much as a 2-year-old after 2 months of training, but I would probably take it just as slow. So I don't want her to do any crackerjack moves, jumping around and doing a big stop, big turn, but I'm just going to let her do what she needs to do physically and just focus on the mechanics of working this cow. So she sees the flag out and she loves to get to work here. That's what I mean. These cow horses or cutting horses, they need a job. And once I put her brain to something like a flag or a cow, she's happy. So I get that stop right there. I give her a loose rein. Then I'm going to pull this nose right here. If I feel the turn is sufficient, I will go with that cow, with that flag, straight as I can. She's very feely and wiggly. Good. A little bit of draw there. Pull that nose. Pretty nice turn. Now she's loping, which I don't encourage on the flag at that speed. But if she wants to do that, that's what I'm going to let her do right now. I'm not going to be so invasive with her that I'm going to say, hey, you can't do this. And you have to do it this way. Like, there's no horsemanship here. There's only horsemanship. So I need her to find, I want her to find this herself, what we're doing and the speed of this flag. Straight as we can. Again, no face. I don't ride my horses bridled up a lot, probably for a year. She might be a little bit quicker because she's a 3-year-old, but as a 2-year-old, I definitely don't bridle them up quite that much as we're working the flag or the bison. Good, that's perfect. That's really good. She's looking away, no big deal. Now I want this turn a little bit better, so I'm just gonna hold her right here. Inside rein, a little bit outside rein and leg. Push that leg through a little. There we go, okay. Now she wanted to go by that flag and she got a little quick there, so I'm just gonna draw her back even though she's short. I just don't want her learning that she can run by that flag or come up onto that flag too quick, so I'm just gonna draw her to the ground, get her to stop and relax. And right here, draw her back, get her soft. Big release, send that flag, pull that nose, not a bad turn. First step was not great, second step was great, so I let her go and rewarded that second turn, or that second step. And you see how feely she is. Every time she gives, she's like, no, give it back. She wants to take it back right away. That's her. That's these hotter horses and touchier horses. They kind of have a personality or mood of their own where it's like, give me that back. I don't want to do what you want to do. In the beginning and in the end, she's probably going to be an overachiever for me. Bend that nose, that's better. Pretty slick through that turn right there for 2 months. Coming off a little, that's all right. Again, I'm not forcing her to be perfect. I'm just trying to get her to be soft through that turn, quiet, because I know she's feely already. If she was dull, maybe I'd have to spice her up a little bit, but she's already feely, so I don't need to be so invasive on her. I need her to find that stop, find the turn. Okay, she thought about turning there before I even picked up my hand, which for the 10th time is great. Even if she stops short, because she tried there on her own, I'm going to give that back to her. Send that flag. Ooh, again, started bending her nose the correct way. And I'm not doing this any different as I'm explaining it here to you guys, but I'm not doing this any different than I would every day on her right here. Just loose rein, get that turn. Overturn, I encourage that. That's great. I can fix that later with my herd side leg. Very good. Oh, now she's looking at it. Her ears are back now. She's thinking about me and that flag. Now she's stepping to it. So I didn't have to tell her right there that we need to stop and turn with that. She started thinking about that on her own. So lots more reward. Little head toss right there. Kind of like red hair, maybe that's why the head toss, hey? Yeah, a little red head. Okay, send that flag. Bend her nose, cluck her out of that turn. Good, take my feet off, ask her to stop. Ooh, that was good, nice feel there. Ooh, head toss, bumped my spurs on her a little bit and she jumped forward. Very sensitive, love it. Love these sensitive horses. Good girl, good girl. Wasn't as great through that turn, so I'm just gonna hold her. Just a reminder, this is how we turn right here. Load it up on that outside hock. A little bit softer through that nose. Let's go a little further. Good, draw back, get soft. There. Again, she was a little forward on that turn, so I'm just gonna hold her here. There, good, and then let her go. I try to always let them go when they're pointing the right direction. Sometimes I'll do it right here for you, but sometimes I'll go, wait, okay, good step, release, even if she's facing the wrong direction, and then wait, okay, good step, release, and then wait, good step, release. But as they get better, what I'll do is I'll start releasing them hopefully in the line of the flag. Good girl. Again, this is as much pressure as I put on her ever on the flag. There, very good. And you can see too, when I go to stop her, even at this stage, I'm going to take off my feet and sit before I actually pull back. Maybe just a millisecond before. Just want to release my feet, release my body. Because I don't want to have to pull her back through that stop. I want her to just find that on her own. Good. I like them to stop a little shorter. You guys they can't read, first of all, the flag's short, so it's not long like a cow. And it doesn't have eyes and ears, and horses are really good at reading body language out in pastures with other horses, colts and cows. So like they're trying to read that cow's body language and what that cow is gonna do. But with the flag, they can't read it. There's no eyes or ears, there's no head movement. So I like them to see the flag a little bit in front of them. So if they stop a bit short, I don't mind that at all. I don't find it changes anything on my cows when I'm working them. But at least they can see it. And if they go by it too much, they're not as engaged. So I kind of want them to see just that flag in front of them just a little bit. They can see that move by them. Horses are prey animals, so they don't see behind them very well. They see off to the side and in front of them really well. And they run from things behind them. So If that cow's behind her even a little bit, she can't see it as clear. Right here, she's looking into it. This is perfect. Send that flag. So if she gets a reward right there, which is the flag, when she looks at that flag on her own, if she looks at that flag on her own, I'm just going to send that flag, and usually they follow through with that turn. Girl. There, she's looking. There, see, she made that first move on her own. Oh, a little saucy still, hey? Energy for days. No, let's just clean that up a little. Foundation is everything. So if I lie to her and tell her she can do it this way, one way, and this way another day, she's not going to be very consistent. So the foundation of doing everything correct all the time, every time. Slow is fine, just really correct every time. Then she knows that if she's not correct, she'll just have to stay in this little bubble till she is correct. There you go, good girl. So right here at the end of my flag work, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work it a little bit short and just tell her to go here and then bend that nose there and bend that nose here. So I get a little bit of quick left to right here. Quick left to right. Just go from left direction to right direction here to left direction. And she's drawing back and getting further away, which is great. I like to see lots of draw right there. We can always keep her out of that herd later. Good girl. Good girl. And that's all I'll do on her today. Little anxiety there. It wasn't much of a work, but she did get sweaty. She just runs that warm. So that's the 10th session, but it'll be first session for her following Charlie's journey here, and hopefully we can do some more videos every week so that you guys can follow along and see how she's progressing in her training. So that's it for today, and hopefully you enjoyed that, and hopefully